Hey kids. All right, so I wanted to walk you through some pictures that I took while I was making my Notan design. I will go over this a couple of times during class, but hopefully the slideshow and my instructions will help if you get confused and need to rewatch it, or if you missed the class where I discuss this, you can watch this to get caught up. So Notan is a Japanese concept for light and dark. If you think about it, and if you've ever watched Bob Ross, you know that it takes light to show dark. And we think about this in positive and negative space, but there's one word for it in the Japanese culture, and that's Notan. So ordinarily this would be done with black and white paper, but these are the times of COVID, and you're just going to be using one lighter paper and one darker paper. And I chose two colored construction papers to do this. So here they are full size. I believe it's 9 by 12. And then I cut one in half, and you can see the fold, but that's a little premature. So first you're just going to choose one color to be the background, and one color to be where you make your cuts and designs. And the one where you're going to make your cuts and designs, that is the one you cut in half. Now, if you've done snowflakes with me, you know that you can turn that rectangle into a square by folding the short side up the long side and then cutting off the excess long side. And when you unfold it, you have a square. Now, I didn't want to really press my fold in, so I sort of did this loose. It's not a perfect square, but it's fine. So I take the short side, I push it up to be parallel and straight along the long side. And then once I have a good corner, so I know it's really all lined up, I cut off the excess top of the long side. And then when I unfold it, I have a square. Now, I need to start making my designs. I went off of a fall theme. So I drew half of a leaf into the side of one side of my square. It is important that the lines start and stop on the same side, the same flat side. And then I made a double line, and then I made some parts inside of my leaf. So I had the outer edge of the leaf starting and stopping on the same side of the square, and then I made a parallel line along it, and then I put some of my leaf details in it. Then I cut along all of those lines. Do not lose these pieces. Nothing here is trash. Everything is going to be used and glued back down. So if you get to this step and class is over, have a safe place to put your small pieces, or you will have a poor quality design and you might even have to start over. So now I have those pieces cut and separated. Whoa, did I just miss a whole page? Let's see if I can go back here. I really didn't take pictures of the next step. Okay. Woo, I make a big jump here. Okay, so let's look at the left side. What I did was I alternated and glued them down. So I took the first section, that's the outer edge, I flipped it over and I glued it down where that outer edge would have been on the background paper. The second section flips back, and the third section flips out. So they alternate. Then I proceeded to do more fall designs. I did the acorn, the tree without leaves, and a maple leaf at the bottom. And each time I cut along every line I made, I flipped one side out, next side back, last side out. You're going to do this along all 4 edges, and then you're going to be gluing them down. The very last thing that I glued down was my large center square. So the way I handled it was, and it's very hard to see in these pictures, but I put a tiny pencil corner on the green paper where the blue paper would be to sort of frame it up so that I would know where to glue down my designs and then go back and where to glue down my blue paper so that if I were in the middle of my steps and I had to clean up for the next day, I wouldn't lose where my blue paper was going to be. Okay, I hope this is helpful. I will go over it again during class and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.